Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Writer here. Today is just going to be a brief little comics future discussion video based on the fact of two things. That was a really weird way of phrasing that, but I'm going to keep rolling with it, literally, because the camera is a-rolling. Based on two things. Number one, we know that the mainline MMPR comic is coming to an end at the end of Darkest Hour. And then I guess it's three things, because we also do know that Boom has stated there's going to be announcements of more new stuff, and it doesn't mean Boom's lost the contract, there's not going to be any more new PR comics. There is going to be some new stuff announced in the nearest future, presumably at Comic-Con and probably others. The other thing is, we recently concluded the 4-issue miniseries co-written by Amy Jo Johnson called MMPR The Return, and it ended on a cliffhanger with a to-be-continued with the arrival of a mysterious female White Ranger that could be from the present day but could possibly be from the future, that opened it up for a follow-up. And it got me wondered if MMPR The Return could be the future of the comics, or an aspect of the future. Now hear me out. Well, first of all, I did read an interview where they asked about the follow-up, and Amy Jo Johnson said at the moment there's only been like talks between her and her partner. I don't even know if they've talked to Boom, but Boom obviously knows how it ended, so I'm sure it's kind of, you know, it's on the docket to talk about how they would follow it up. But you know, if they did greenlight anything, they probably couldn't talk about it until Boom officially wants to announce it. Not like it's super secret, like on Andrew Garfield appearing in Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield's going to be in MMPR The Return too. You know what I mean. The point is it got me curious about two potential options. Now this one seems a little bit far-fetched. Maybe far-fetched. The idea that maybe the MMPR The Return timeline could take over as the mainline comic. You know, I get a feeling, I mean, I could be proven wrong. I'm really curious what they're going to do, but I feel like whatever the new mainline thing they're going to be doing is going to be MMPR related. Or maybe something new. I doubt they're going to pluck Samurai or Time Force or Zeo. I mean, I'd love to be surprised, but I doubt it. But I think it would be MMPR related, and just the timing of it, probably coincidental, but it made me curious if when this Boom timeline ends, what if MMPR The Return becomes the new main continuity for Boom for the foreseeable future, or at least for a little while. And I honestly wouldn't be mad. I am sad to see the Boom continuity go or take a break for whatever for now in regards to its current form, because as you guys know, I love the comics. I think of the Boom universe as the main PR universe in my head, and I would have loved to have seen their spin on events for Season 3 and beyond, although I doubt we would have ever gone past it. But I also wouldn't be mad if that happened. You know, I know everyone's sick to death of MMPR, but as I've always said in the past, for me personally, so long as the story is good, you know, if they continued the MMPR comics into infinity, so long as I was enjoying the story, that's fine. Same thing with The Return. I'd be sad that we wouldn't be pushing forward with some of the Boom universe stuff, but I would be more than happy to explore this universe for a couple years. It was a really good 4-issue miniseries that had a really interesting take on the mythology, and there's lots to explore. I would love to explore more of this variant of Jason, of honestly all the characters, of would they select successors, the Selena character, this mysterious White Ranger. Like, if they continued, how would they incorporate things from MMPR? Would they maybe pull from any other seasons and stuff? Would they be like, oh, what if, you know, Astronema arrives or the Machine Empire? I doubt it, but just spitballing, or create new villains. Actually, that's what I would like to see. As curious as I would be to like what this MMPR Team 2.0 made up of veteran Rangers and new characters, like taking on the in-space characters, I would love to see them create original villains. I think that would be really cool. But regardless, I would not be mad at following that. Now, I find it a little bit unlikely, and I don't know if Amy Jo Johnson would want to do, I guess she could collaborate, but like a long-running series, like even if it was just a year. But that was just something I happened to think about from the timing. And then it made me think about another option, is that maybe the future of the comics for now isn't going to be one mainline, super long-running series that goes 50, 100 issues. Maybe it's just going to be a bunch of smaller mini-series. Like, we have Ranger Academy still going, but I doubt that's going to be a super long-running thing. But stuff like that, something that might run 10, 13-plus issues, maybe 20 issues if it's a little bit bigger, or a mini-series like this, some one-offs. I wouldn't be mad at that either. The idea of MMPR The Return, maybe getting multiple follow-ups, kind of like the Turtles crossover or the Godzilla crossover, and then we could just get stuff like that rather than one main series, multiple different offshoots. I wouldn't be mad at that. Honestly, if MMPR The Return did take over, what I would love to see in an ideal world in that scenario, I wouldn't mind MMPR The Return taking over as the main continuity for now, or the main, you know, comic for now. But then I would love to see like an anthology series. Again, I doubt this would happen. I still feel people underestimate how little the general public cares about anything post-MMPR. But it would be cool in a dream world to have an anthology series set in the main Boom timeline that bounced around of like what their version of events is. Because the Boom stories are kind of like enhanced good versions of the show. And then also post-Shattered Grid, it's like a different version of reality even. So you have room to play with like what if scenarios. And I would love a like anthology series where we could touch on Zeo. Like, I couldn't imagine a full long running series, but you could do like a 2-issue arc that showed us this is kind of what the Boom version of Zeo looks like, and then jump to like Wild Force or Time Force or Samurai or whatever. That probably wouldn't happen, but that would be something really cool to get. Honestly, I missed when we got annuals. I would love to get an annual like that. That would be really neat. Even, obviously, we couldn't touch on every team, but it would be cool to get an annual that was kind of an anthology of stories in the new Boom post-Shattered Grid reality. But I am really curious about that. What do you guys think? Do you think it's a possibility that MMPR The Return takes over as the mainline comic? Or do you think it'll just be kind of a reoccurring series, kind of like the TMNT crossovers? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.